Da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum. What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. Today I'm very excited to check out Mumbo Jumbo, the guessing, humming, acting game from Fundex Games and Play Now Games. This is for ages 8 plus, it's for 4 plus players, and it'll take you about 20 minutes to play. And in Mumbo Jumbo, this is a party game in which you are going to be breaking up into teams, spinning a spinner, and trying to get your teammates to guess whatever the clue is by humming, or acting, or pantomiming, or just asking questions. Sound intriguing? Let's open it up, see how it works. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Mumbo Jumbo. So first and foremost, we have your handy dandy rule booklet. It is actually just one cardboard sheet. It's one page, one-sided. And it will have you up and running in no time at all. This is a very, very simple game. In fact, I can probably teach you how to play right now. But still, the rule booklet does an admirable job. So in Mumbo Jumbo, you are going to divide up into teams. You're going to have up to 4 teams. And then you're going to take turns being the guy that does the Mumbo Jumboing. Now, what is Mumbo Jumboing? Essentially, you are going to roll these 2 dice right here. You have a standard D6, and then you have a D8, which is going to have 2 blues, 2 purples, 2 greens, and 2 reds. Now, these colors are going to correspond with colors on this big stack of tiles right here. Now, these tiles are what you're going to be doing. So each time you're the Mumbo Jumboer, you are going to have to do a different task. So, for instance, there's some main categories, which will be on the outside. So this is 7 words, which means you're going to have 7 words and 7 words only to try and get your teammates to guess one of these words. So, for instance, dingo, you might say, "Hey, yo, baby," and then hopefully someone will understand that reference. There's hum along, where you're actually going to have to be humming a song. You can't use any words, no hand motions. You're just going to try to hum the song to get your teammates to get it. Pantomime, which is pretty difficult, where you have to only use your hands. You may not speak. This one is without a doubt the hardest ones. We have, what else we got in here? We got motor mouth. This one's kind of interesting. Keep your hands on the table and use only your mouth. Do not say any part of the answer. Now that sounds really easy, but then you also have to get them to say 2 different things, which can make it a little bit more difficult. The big question, this one's pretty self-explanatory. This is without a doubt the easiest one. You just have to read aloud what the question is. So you just say 10 barn animals, and then your team have a certain amount of time to do that. Now, how much time do they have, you ask? Well, that's where this ingenious little spinner comes into play. Now, the box insert, as you can tell, is kind of raised down there, so that way you are going to be able to spin your timer. So that's how much time you have to answer the question, how much time your teammate has to answer the question. So essentially, if you give it a bad spin, they're more rushed, and if you give it a good spin, they're going to have quite a bit of time to do that sort of thing. So now I'll put it all into play, and you can see exactly how the game works. First thing you're going to do, decide who's the Mumbo Jumper, they're going to roll the 2 die. So we have a green and a 6. So we would get to draw the top 6 tiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We would look at the green one, which is couch potato. So we have to 7 words to try to get our team to say the words couch potato. So this is going to be a little bit difficult. So next, we're going to say 7 words, and then we're going to spin the spinner. So let's see if I get a good spin. Okay, so now 7 words. Lazy, living room, television, Homer Simpson, Mr. Head. You know, this is a really difficult one, whereas screwdriver probably wouldn't be too hard. You can say flathead, Phillips head, they're going to nail it, no problem. Hawaii, you might say aloha. But anywho, that's what you're going to do. Now, if you were not able to get it, then your opponents are going to have an opportunity to get it. And they already have a leg up, because they've heard all the clues that you said, so you would hand them this big stack of tiles, and then they would try to do it once again, and if they're able to successfully do it, then they get all of these pieces right here and all the points on the bottom. So this is a 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 points that they just earned, which is quite a good deal of points in the game. But anywho, you're going to continue to do that back and forth until all the tiles run out. Once all the tiles run out, you're going to tally up the number of points you have, and whoever has the most points is going to be the winner of Mumbo Jumbo. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Oh, great dokery. Mumbo Jumbo from Play Now Games and Fundex Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side of the game, it's not going to for everybody. It's a very light party game. There's no real strategy here. It's not a gamey party game, which is going to immediately turn some people off. Next, there is going to be people who don't like this game because they're bad at spinning, because the dexterity element definitely comes into play. If you stink at spinning the spinner, then you are going to put your team at a serious disadvantage. Speaking of disadvantages, this game's scoring system is completely freaking broken. It's terrible, and I'll tell you exactly why. You roll the d6 die, and that decides how many tiles you pick up. So if you roll a 1, you're going to pick up 1 tile, and your team will have to answer 1 question, and they're going to earn between 1 and 3 points. Now, if you roll a 6, you're going to pick up 6 tiles. Now, your team still only has to answer 1 question, but at the same time, they're going to earn between 6 and 18 points. That's a huge point swing. That's kind of broken there. Now, granted, they're probably not going to get 18, but they're still very likely to get between 10, 11, 12 points, whereas if you roll 1, you're getting between 1 and 3 points. So that you need to fix that with house rules. We immediately fixed that with house rules after we played it the first time. Now, I understand they did that because they wanted to get the 20-minute time that they have on the box. They actually want it to be that time link, and that does work to do that, but still, I mean, you're going to add maybe an extra 10 minutes by playing it the other way. Highly recommend putting a house rule on that. The final comment I have on this game is that some people are not going to like it because it does force you to be silly in front of everybody else. I mean, you're going to be having to be pantomiming or humming, which is going to be a turnoff to some people. Now, it's not nearly as forced as, say, like Quelf, where it's like, put a pot on your head and walk backwards to gain 3 points or anything like that. No, it actually does feel very cosmetic in the flow of the game, but still, that's going to turn off some people. Moving on to the pros, you pretty much know what you're going to get if you watch the middle part of the video, and I actually really enjoyed Mumbo Jumbo. I was pleasantly surprised. What do I like about the game? First and foremost, components are top-notch. Box insert is nice. The little spinner timer thing is a really cool mechanism that I like quite a bit. I like how there is quite a bit of variety in the questions. You're going to have 4 different questions on each of the tiles, and there's like, 40 to 80 tiles, and so you're going to be running into different ones a lot. Now, after 5, 10 repeated gameplays, you are going to be running into the same questions, but that's just the nature of the beast with a trivia game. That's just going to happen, period. Also, the gameplay is very, very simple and fun. You break up into teams, so there's never really that much pressure on you, and the gameplay plays so fast so that even if you do screw the pooch on a spin or on humming a song, it's just going to be quickly forgotten, and there's going to be filled with laughter and drinks and all that sort of good stuff. So overall, Mumbo Jumbo, surprisingly fun party game. If you routinely have party game nights where you play lighter party games, or if you're looking for a fun little family game to play with your family, definitely check out Mumbo Jumbo from Fundex and Play No Games. One of my surprise party games that I found. This one I'm absolutely going to keep. A lot of fun. So, if you enjoyed this content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below. And in the comments below, let me know, have you ever seen a game with a unique timer like that where you spin a spinner? If so, please be sure to post it down below because I really like that aspect. I like that dexterity aspect. I thought it was really, really cool. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.